And we're live here on the LI Sports Network. MCHC finals on the way. It's Sacred Heart University, the 1 seed. It's St. Thomas Aquinas, the 2 seed. And we're ready for this finals action. The most important thing to note about this game, the Pioneers are going for a three-peat. They've won the last 2 conference championships in a row, and now the last thing standing in the way is the Spartans, as they will try to capture a conference title themselves. Obviously, some high-quality ACHA Division III action upcoming. These 2 teams are rocking and ready to go. Obviously, when you have the 1 seed and the 2 seed competing against each other, it's always going to be a good game, but when you have a back-to-back champion coming into it, well, I would imagine SHU feels like this game is theirs for the taking. And because of that, the Spartans are going to need some underdog mentality, some high-quality scoring, obviously some good performances out of their goaltending trio. Pippo going to get the start, number 33, Michael Pippo, coming from New Rochelle, New York. He's going to be in the pipes right now, is warming up with the rest of his teammates. Pippo's going to have to put up a great performance up against this Pioneers offense that's been electric throughout the year. Andrew Feniger leading the way for his team with 24 goals, 38 assists, and 62 total points. And if you can't do quick math in your head, I don't blame you. That's 2.95 points per game in the 21 games that he has played. So obviously, he is going to be a name that everyone wants to shut down if you are the Spartans. Or excuse me, if you are Sacred Heart. Andrew Feniger, obviously the leading goal scorer and point producer for St. Thomas Aquinas. On the other side, for SHU, Jack Reed, the leading point producer, 16 goals, 20 assists, 36 total points. He also is scoring at 2 points per game. A little bit under Andrew Feniger, but nonetheless, 2 points per game, that's also quite hot. Jason DeSalvo, also for Aquinas, still would beat out the leading point producer for SHU. DeSalvo on the year, 51 total points. He has 21 goals, 30 assists. Now, normally you would think Jason DeSalvo, if you put up those kinds of numbers on your team, well, you'd probably be the leading point producer, leading goal scorer. Andrew Feniger, number 27, says no to that, and he is a little bit higher. So if you are the Spartans, a little bit of goaltending and trying to get your top guys going and rolling early on into this game would be probably the number 1 thing you have to do. Here with 2 minutes left in the warm-ups, SHU going to be rolling out Connor Smith as their starting goaltender, number 33, from West Haven, Connecticut. At 5'8", he's obviously one of those goalies that's going to need to get to post a little bit sooner. Not exactly the frame that you see a lot of modern goaltenders have. I mean, that was something I believe that was talked about quite frequently in the Four Nations tournament, how big goaltenders are getting nowadays. Well, Connor Smith, a little bit of a throwback. You're going to see him going post to post very quickly, trying to get those snatching reflexes in, but he's obviously been good enough for SHU to become the number 1 seed as their number 1 goaltender. 22 years of age, so he's been around the game for long enough to understand how to win in big moments. Taking a look at some of the more depth scoring. One thing that I definitely was noticing about SHU is their point production doesn't fall off as quickly as the Spartans. Obviously, that's one thing that is going to allow you to become the number 1 seed in the MCHC is that depth scoring. For Sacred Heart, for the Pioneers, I mean, you go down the list even to around their 13th best score, still above 10 points per game. If you take a look on the other side, for the Spartans, by the time you get to that 13th scorer area, you're down to 8 points in total. So you can see that because of that, the Pioneers, when they're rolling out their 1, 2, and 3 line, are going to be probably a lot more comfortable in those matchups than if you are the coaching staff for the Spartans. You're probably just going to want to honestly double shift someone like Feniger quite a bit, you know, give him that nice McDavid treatment, throw him out there on the first line, then try to catch SHU off guard, throwing him in on the third line as well, leaving the second line, really anything you can do to get your top guy going. And probably the most important thing about this game, and usually what finals comes down to always, is the special teams. How well can SHU stay out of the box, not give these top guys for the Spartans these opportunities to go up a man, as we're going to get the huddles coming in at the goal for both sides. One last little game pep talk for both teams. Obviously, they've made it this far in the season. They don't want to lose just yet. Obviously, these teams also fighting for the national tournament, which I believe will be in St. Louis this year for the ACHA. We can hear a little bit of what the Spartans are saying right now. Obviously, a tight-knit group over there getting their chant in as SHU lines up on the other side, and we'll get into the starting lineups for both teams. "20 minutes on the clock for the first. We're getting ready for action here in Great Neck. Once again, it's the 1 seed versus the 2 seed here in the MCHC finals. The Pioneers against the Spartans, and Sacred Heart University looking for their three-peat. Little detail, I don't know if you caught it on the stream, but when the SHU starting lineup was being announced, number 28, Anthony Prunty, was right in front of us in the press box, said "sucks" after every single player was announced. So obviously, can expect a little bit of bad blood between these teams. Anytime you have a conference game like this, you kind of expect it. As we get everyone lined up at center ice. Fenniger ready for the draw, trying to win it back for the Spartans. It instantly sails into the zone for SHU. They go back for it into the right wing corner. Touched first by Michael Richardson. Played around the boards. He finds himself in the left wing corner now, tapping it back the other way for Gately. He'll skate onto it, throw it off the boards, not past the blue line as the Spartans hold in. Chipping in deep again, 20 seconds off the clock. Spartans trying to look for some early pressure on those shots, but the puck now comes past the blue line and up the other way for SHU. Getting it into the offensive end for the first time this night. That was Wild taking the hit, but he does get the puck in. Now back to the near point. Richardson flips it D to D. Quick shot taken, the save made. Rebound out in front. They whack at it, and it comes over to the slot. Skating onto it again is Richardson. He'll play back to the blue line. Wrist shot taken. It'll go! 1-0 SHU. Just like that, they find themselves in the lead in the finals. One step closer to that three-peat. As we take a replay of that here on the LI Sports Network. Just at the blue line, a quick wrister through traffic, takes an awkward bounce and ends up in the back of the net. Pippo not able to get on that one in time. And we'll get our first strike of the night belonging to the Pioneers. Obviously, we get another opportunity here potentially. SHU out in front, quick shot taken, and this time Pippo will find it and shut it down, making sure his team doesn't fall down 2-0. The point I was going to make, we've been doing a lot of work with Brendan Perrone, a goaltender coach, obviously a former NCAA Division I player with LIU, and he has been talking a lot about how goaltenders like to get a feel for the game. They like to set up with a couple of saves and just try to get themselves acclimated, get their sea legs underneath them, another way to try to express that feeling. Well, obviously, when Pippo faces his first shot and it's a hard one to save like that, doesn't get a moment, doesn't get a second to try to settle into this game, and his team is already trailing. So now he has to mentally reset as a goaltender, one of the hardest things to do, why it makes this goaltending position in hockey such a brutal one to play. Puck back into the neutral zone for the Pioneers. They carry it forward up the right side. Pulling up on the brakes. Ciaro gets it to the near side. Shot taken, and it takes a long bounce back into the neutral zone. Pioneers have to reset. Angeletti will rifle it in deep. Stopped by Pippo. Skates back onto it. Looks out in front to the slot. Pioneers are trying to set up a shot. Marzalek has it. Still has it going into the slot, playing off a nice backhander. Over to Ryan. Takes the shot, and it's saved by Pippo. So Pippo coming up with a couple of nice stops after letting up that early goal here on the LI Sports Network. Lovett now into the face-off for the Pioneers, tying up sticks in the right dot. Goes over to the right wing corner. Spartans jump onto it first, look to send it off out the boards, and they get it into the neutral zone, forcing the Pioneers to reset off sides. Vidiello gets tied up. Teammates come in to support him. They play quickly forward and out. DeSalvo controls. DeSalvo. Finesse move on the up the right side. Going to be called offsides by the referees. 1-0 Sacred Heart early into this game. Goal coming off of a screen out in front. Pippo not able to see it the entire way. Fenninger will win the faceoff, quickly flips it to his defensemen who play it in, and puck will be shut down, saved by the starting netminder Connor Smith. First time Smith has seen really any action at the far side of the rink. Faceoff will come to the right of Smith. Spartans win it, set up with a shot at the point. Smith tracks it down and saves it. Puck still loose in front of him. Defense standing stoutly right now as the puck caroms to the near boards. Wrapped around to the far side now. Chasing after it is Jeremiah Ryan. Gets by him, but he does get it back to the near side. Pioneers with a chance to clear. They flip it high into the air and back into the Spartans' D zone. Quickly played back the other way. Should be an icing coming up from the referees. They'll wave it off. Spartans got there in time. Tremblay had it at the far point, lost it, gets by him. Spartans resetting. Fallon puts it in deep, allowing his offense to chase after it. Tremblay the first one into it, tracking down the puck in the right wing corner. rotates it around the boards, now gets it again below the goal line, centering it out in front. No one was there for it, and we get a quick whistle from the referees. Looks like they'll go over to the goal, trying to reset it. Face-off won by the Spartans, held in at the far point. The pass at the blue line was stick down by Ryan Davis. Couldn't get it out of the zone, though. His team does take control, and now Davis gets it on the near boards. Getting some bump contact, goes back to his goaltender, Smith. Davis again, pressured on the near boards once more, puts it out into the middle of his zone, now cleared by the Pioneers. Interrupted once more, actually. Great job on the forecheck coming from Zachary McLeod. Now the Pioneers get it in, up the left side, with some room and some speed. Gill puts it out in front, and it comes over the Spartans. Not cleared just yet. Shot towards the goal, interrupted in the slot. Puck loose in the corner. Both teams jousting at it. On it is Guild. Has two Spartans near him, and finally they give it away. But turnover in the slot, looking for a quick shot, was Ryan Davis. Gets it back to the near point, flip to the opposite side on the D-to-D pass. Harag gets it into the goal, and Pippo makes a stout save. Ryan Davis passing it down to the goal line, looking for the centering pass again. Comes over to Harag, not able to get a good stick on it. Does keep the puck alive, though. Playing a little chip and chase. Gately onto it in the right wing corner. Gately battling for it. It will get past him and go down the length of the ice. We will have a race towards this icing, and Smith will come out of his net to play it. Gets it up quickly on the left side. Numbers right now. Gately comes in, his shots wide to the right. Takes a long bounce all the way out of the zone. Quickly reset and played back in. Angeletti will do the honors. Comes behind Pippo. His forwards chasing after it. An aggressive three-man forecheck coming out from the Pioneers. Spartans doing a good job navigating that so far, but turnovers likely going to come at some point. Pippo making another save. Big rebound, and they score! Referee's going to barely signal that one in, but nonetheless, it's 2-0 for the Pioneers early on in this first period. As I want you to take a look at just how narrow of a margin this goal went in by. Hard to see on that angle, actually, from the camera, but I got a little bit better of a vantage point. It did look like Campo Real was going to come in and save that goal, but he was unfortunately a little bit too late for the Spartans. It gets by his stick and past the blue line. Obviously a judgment call that the referees have to make in a snap second, but I do believe they got the right call, and it's 2-0 for Sacred Heart. Spartans chasing, looking for some offense. Obviously not the time that you're going to open up and sacrifice anything on the defensive end. You still have a long way to go in this game. A 2-0 lead can evaporate very, very quickly. Camporeal now getting it, playing it off the boards. Almost intercepted by the Pioneers. They will get it back at their own blue line. Tap pass forward. Does get onto the stick of Ciano. Ciano into the slot, leaving it off, and then almost getting the pass back from Daniel O'Connor. Barely missed the stick. Now circling around. Marszalek playing a stripe, passing through the slot. Goes down below the goal line. Out in front, Marszalek almost got another look at it, and the Spartans almost clearing it. Once again held in at the blue line. These passes not exactly strong enough to get by the blue line. Again, you got to notice that the Pioneers, they've been so aggressive trying to hold these pucks in, and then once again, look at this forecheck that's coming out from them, sending two guys all the way into the offensive end, forcing these long dumping passes, and then they get on top of it like they are right now along the near boards. Referees calling the Spartans offsides as well, so they have to reset, giving a get-out-of-jail-free card for the Pioneers. They flip it in, then it's denied by them to the far side. Skating onto it is Ryan. We'll pass it over to Williams Jr. on the near side. Takes a couple of hits for his trouble, and we'll get a whistle from the referees. Some jousting now right in front of the camera. Referee's just giving a quick reset. We'll get a trip And the first power play of the day, I believe, will belong to SHU. So with 12:52 left in the first period, the Pioneers trying to make it 3-0 in the first about 7 minutes as they get this first power play opportunity. Brendan Cardelli into the face-off to take it. Flanked by both Gately and Ciano. Puck held in for now from SHU. Cardelli gets it to the blue line. Shot taken. Peppo trying to track it. It's out in front of him and will camera him over the near boards. Backhand play down and around. Cardelli going after it. Will slow down the clearing attempt from Fallon, but it will still get out by the Spartans, dumping it into the left wing corner and held down by Connor Smith. Smith will tap it off. The Spartans will chase onto it. 30 seconds gone by in the power play. Momentum now. Pippo not able to make the save because it went by the crease over to the left. Takes a big bounce off the glass. Now the clear coming out from the Spartans. Stick down at the near point. Gately keeping it alive, now trying to put on some pressure. SHU having a hard time setting up cleanly in the O-zone right now. Half of their power play gone by. Big reactions coming after that hit in the left wing corner. SHU making quick work of the neutral zone, getting into the offensive end. A good back check coming in from James Guild. Puck held alive, though, now at the far side. Ryan looking for an angle, puts it into the slot. That shot rung off the bar. Second shot taken. Pippo will make the save. Held alive. Backhander down low. Connects with Congliaro, comes out in front, and they score. Jeremiah Ryan makes it 3-0. SHU on top. As we'll take a look at that on the replay. Ryan just getting out in front and tapping that one in. 3-0 for Sacred Heart. That most recent goal coming on the power play. Puck carried ahead now. SHU maybe looking for 4 around the corner. Tyrell holds on to it, looking to feed it back to the blue line. It's poked away, and now the Spartans get going forward. They're going to desperately need some offense at this point. Down 3-0 very early on, and the Pioneers look like there's no stopping in sight. 10:53 left in the first. Get a quick pause down in the right dot. And the Spartans, I said, power play is probably going to be one of their best opportunities. Well, they have one right now. As soon as SHU get off of one, well, they find themselves in some trouble. Number 27, Ryan Martin, taking the penalty. St. Thomas Aquinas setting up with quick control off the draw. Delea in the high slot, trying to set up for the one-timer. Will get the feed, carries it over to the right, passing back to the left. Backhanded down low and around the boards. Puck is loose and could be cleared. It is rifled all the way down by Oliver Harag. Comes over to Pippo. He'll settle it down for his forwards. Puck comes to Daniel O'Connor behind his net. He'll stop up and wait for a second as this game is at 10:13 left in the first period. Gately skating it past the blue line. Gately dicing it up. Now coming over to his left. Avoids a check into the boards. Puck still gets cleared anyways, and it's all the way down the ice. Pippo not going to come out for it. Instead, it will be Campo Real. Puck taken back by SHU, trying to kill off some of this time. Fenninger will get onto it in the slot. Fenninger setting up an opportunity, and the puck was shot wide by D'Elia. Now SHU coming back the other way with numbers. They're going to be in on net. Here's Ciano. Backhander goes too high and into the netting. That was a great opportunity for SHU on the shorthand. Could have made it 4-0 right there. So the face-off will now come in the O-zone for the Pios. Ciano in the dot, trying to win it back and kill off some more time. He will get it to his defenseman, who will look to chase it down quickly. Angeletti gets his stick tied up, and the Spartans are back into the O-zone. Prunty with it. Gets called off sides, actually, from the referees. So, unfortunate break right there from the Spartans. Puck will get dumped in deep again by SHU, doing a great job on this PK so far. 22 seconds still left, 9:13 in the first period. Prunty tried the breakout, got interrupted by Ciano. Taken back now up the right side by Smith. Smith gets checked, looking for support from his team. They try to play it off the boards, and then will get whistled dead. Get a little bit of a scrum now at the blue line. Referees will watch the players go off for some changes. We'll stay 5-on-4 for the next 6 seconds. Spartans not able to capitalize on this power play, trailing by 3 as well. They do contain the puck off the faceoff. Fallen trying to get it in deep, past the blue line, but instantly back into the hands of the Pioneers. In the corner right now, there's a turnover. Out in front, the puck goes through the crease. Spartans maybe with their first grade A opportunity of the game. Fallen gets it in deep again. Coming on to it is Zachary McLeod. Had a nice hit earlier on. Tries to clear, but it's gloved down and kept in at the blue line for now. Then tapped forward and speared in deep. Cardelli after it, and will be covered up by the Spartans netminder. 8:23 to play in the first. SHU stick battling right now to try to keep the puck in the O-zone. It comes by them. Timothy Downs was the one to do the honors. Gets it ripped off his stick and comes back. Campo Real gets it around the boards. To the far side now. Oliver Harag on the keep in. Puck comes high into the air and then goes bouncing below the goal line. Out in front, it was almost an own goal. Credit would have belonged to, I believe David Williams was the last guy to touch it. Now he's in the slot again, running into about 4 purple jerseys before it's flipped out of play. Pippo has just been putting up a good job on some of these just really, really strange opportunities out in front. So Gately back into the face-off dot. Pushes it forward off the draw into the right wing corner, then gets slammed in there by Campo Real. Skated ahead by his team. They'll look to quickly play it through the neutral zone, but it's gloved down by the Pios and played back towards the blue line. Scooped in deep. SHU, physical along the boards. Campo Real with another good hit. Puck play to the near side, controlled by the Spartans. A sweeping strike forward does get it past the blue line, but the Pios recontrol. Another quick left-hander pass past the blue line. Pippo on the rebound, cleared to the side by Fenninger, and the net is off its moorings. we will take another pause. 7:11 to play in the first period. 3-0 the score, and we get some more sparring referees coming in to try to break it up. As the net is pretty much entirely off its moorings. So we'll get a face-off coming from the neutral zone now. Pios take it. Richardson trying to get it forward, then it's dumped in deep by Schulman. Chased after by Davis. On the boards, can't scoop it away from number 13, Vitiello. Then a shot will be played just barely wide of the far post. Schulman on that opportunity. Puck around the boards again. Richardson pinching in, can't hold it there. And the Spartans will clear. Still down by 3 goals, looking for some offense that they desperately need. DeSalvo getting it in. His shot turned aside by Smith. Puck looked like it bounced high up into the air, and we will get a pause. Might have hit the netting off that shot. Control still not established off the face-off. Then it's scooped and played forward by Marszalek. Pulling up at the blue line, passing it off. Dangerous opportunity, and the shot will go into the netting again for another face-off. Ciano with the opportunity right there. His wrister, I believe, ramped off the stick. Ciano back to the draw, will win it back. His team get the shot off of it, blocked by Ciano himself, plays it to the blue line, then tipped around. Last guy there was Martin. He'll still try to stay strong on the puck. The Spartans off sides, and we'll get a face-off from the neutral zone this time. 6:09 to play in the first. Christopher Smith on the draw. Ciano will win it out. Spartans take it back in the neutral zone, try to lift it high past the blue line. The bouncing puck played to the near side by the Pioneers. Get it behind their goal line, trying to jab and poke at it. It's in a couple of skates right now. Puck in the middle of the ice, held in at the blue line. Shot taken, Smith trafficking it, and that puck just barely went over the crossbar. Spartans so close to their first of the night with 5:30 to play in the first period. Back the other way for SHU. Mazurek at the goal line, pulling up, putting it out in front. Quick one-timer, and Mazurek on the follow-up shot. Pippo got them both. Puck still held alive, then turned over to Prunty. Prunty with some room to operate. Dicing it up through the neutral zone, then curling off down low. His backhand shot saved and covered up by Connor Smith. And we get some more pushing and shoving, some cross checks going into the back of John Brennan. .5:18 to play in the first. Been a while since we've seen our most recent goal. Vinci on the draw, gets it back to his blue line. The shot taken and saved off the right leg pad of Connor Smith. His defense will get the clear. Then another strike forward will get it back into the O zone. I believe that was Guild playing it from his stomach back into the offensive end. That will barely go down for an icing. The referees giving that puck as much time as it needed to get down. Pioneers very, very close to beating that one out. So we'll go back down to the Pios defensive end. Face-off upcoming for Fenninger, obviously the most dangerous player for the Spartans. Ties up on the draw, and the puck caroms to the near side. Room for SHU to play it out. A pass onto the tape and skated forward by Cardelli. Loses it out in the left wing corner, then supported by Williams. Spartans try to play it off the glass, deflects high and out of play for another pause. 4:44 left in the first period. Obviously here for the MCHC Championship here on the LI Sports Network. Cardelli not going to win that face-off. Twisted around the boards by the Spartans. Tapped off the glass again and played towards the blue line and out. Backhander will be turned over by Fenninger, but he'll hold in on a second opportunity. Sets up a shot. They score! Spartans find their first. It's a 3-1 game here in Great Neck. And we'll take a look at that wrister right there. Sneaking by Smith, I believe, on the left pad, so his actual right side. And with 4:26 left to play in the first period, the Spartans making this one a little bit closer. Still have a hill to climb, a 2-goal deficit they find themselves in. But still, I would argue 3-1 better than 2-0. Spartans looking to follow that one up in succession. They backhand it back towards the offensive blue line into the skate of Richardson. He'll skate around with it now, passing it off. Ryan Martin takes it ahead. Interrupted, then slapped in deep. Wild got it in. It's held in by Gately. He'll chase after it below the goal line. Takes an awkward bounce off the boards. Pios keep it alive, and then coming onto it was number 5 for Micah. Comes back. Pioneers with room. The shot. Pippo deflects it. Stick broken on the play as well. D'Elia will have to go to the bench for another one. Takes a big push into the back of Richardson for good measure. I don't even think Richardson was near the puck at that point. Richardson will now clear. Comes back for the Spartans. Thyberg up the left side. Twisted around the boards. Down low. Right back to the stick of Richardson. He'll hold this time, passing it out in front of his own net. Cafferty almost losing it, gives it back to Richardson, fires it tape to tape to the far side, and skated past the blue line. Congliaro out in front, a great opportunity for the Pioneers, and the shot was fanned on by Wild. Spartans with the control again. 3 minutes left in the first period. Prunty looking for space, loses it. Now Davis skating forward on the back check. Davis gets tripped up, and that will be a call from the referees. Puck still alive. Out in front, they score. A broken play, and the Pioneers find 4. We'll take a look at that replay. That's the trip right there that caused the penalty, but the puck is still alive right there. Pippo not able to get his glove on top of it, and I believe the goal credit, I think Ryan Davis thinks he got the last touch on it. I'm not exactly sure. That's either going to be a goal for Ryan Davis or Aaron Schulman. They were the two guys on top of that puck. .249 left in the first period. SHU up 4-1 as we'll get some more of that broken stick cleared off the ice. Face-off won by the Spartans. A backhand tap pass forward to Timothy Downs, who will send it into the offensive end. Pioneers onto it, looking for their clear-out options. Find it on the far side. Tyrell with room. Twisted around the boards. A big hit laid into the back of Ryan Davis. Stays strong. Looks to put it back into the slot. Quick shot straight away for Oliver Harag. Couldn't get it out in front. It was blocked by a couple of Spartan defensemen who were there. Back over to Harag at the blue line. Passing it down on the far boards. Walked forward by Shulman. Looks for his centering bid. Broken up and cleared. Oliver Harag with it again in the neutral zone. We'll just flip it in deep to the right wing corner. Puck takes another weird bounce and settles. Pioneers setting up this forecheck, almost holding it at the blue line. 3 players were there, none of them could do it. Ciano gets this play going, tipped off a stick of the Spartans. They'll settle it down and clear back the other way. Back pass for Fenninger. I don't think that's where he wanted to play that puck, as the Pioneers once again hold it. Referees will raise their arm. I believe we're going to get a slashing call here. I want to know who this is going to be on. Looks like number 14, William Thyberg, is going to be skated off to the box. So a late opportunity on the power play for the Pios to make this a 5-1 game, trying to make it uncompetitive here in the first. Obviously, they come in as favorites, being the number 1 overall seed, but you would expect that the Spartans would try to at least hold this close until the very late stages. Face-off will be cleared by the Spartans. Will go all the way down to Connor Smith. He'll settle it. Allow Gately to come after it. Gately twisting the pass to the far side. A little bit aggressive on the PK so far for the Spartans, getting deep into that offensive zone, but puck is still played in by Siano. He'll wrap it around the boards, gets onto the stick of Cardelli. Finding connection with Richardson, now back to the blue line. Tap towards Richardson, intercepted and cleared. Great defensive play along the boards. Vinci was there for it. Back down to Smith. 1 minute to play in the first period. Obviously, this power play could extend into the beginning of the second if the Pioneers can't find a goal in the next 50 seconds. They do get it past the blue line, take a big hit for their troubles. Puck now bouncing around in the slot. Spartans look to sweep it out, and they get it. Some more pushing and shoving behind the play. I think SHU wanted another call. That's what it sounds like they're saying from their bench. 30 seconds left in the first period. Gately flipping it in. Pippo will cover up, and we will pause with 21.1 left in the first period. Trying to set up maybe one last play here for the Pioneers. Back to the blue line, walking over to left. This shot straight away and covered up again by Pippo. Again off the draw. Pioneers winning. Take a quick shot. Pippo out in front trying to track it down. Almost comes into the back of the net. Streaks across the entire blue paint. Less than 10 seconds to play. The Pioneers really after this lead right now. Angeletti puts it out in front. They score! The power play goal to make it 5-1 in the dying seconds of the first period. The Pioneers have come for blood in this MCHC. In this first, obviously back to 5-on-5 skating. We'll get the puck drop and the time run out just like that. Here in Great Neck, the Pioneers with a solid 5-1 lead heading into the first intermission. We'll be right back here on the LI Sports Network. And we are back for the second period. 20 minutes put back onto the clock here in Great Neck. 5-1 the score. SHU on top by 4 goals. A dominant first period for them. Started off scoring with 3 goals unanswered before letting up their first, and then scored another 2 to close out the period, including a power play goal in the last 10 seconds. Now they're going to be on the near side of the ice. Connor Smith coming out in front of us on the other side. Pippo starting in net for the Spartans. They have a lot of work to do here in the second. Cannot afford to really give up a goal in this middle frame, and they need to start battling back with a few of their own. SHU trying to get set up. And here come the Spartans to take the ice as well. I said in the beginning of the game that the Pios definitely had a little bit more depth, definitely had some more opportunities to run out their second, third, and fourth line to greater effect than the Spartans would be able to. And I think that's a big reason why they've been able to pile on 5 goals in just 20 minutes played. On the other side, the Spartans need to rely on their heavy hitters, DeSalvo and Feniger. Those 2 guys need to come through clutch. They lead the team. 62 points for Feniger, 51 points for DeSalvo. They need to show up right now and show why they're both averaging above 2 points per game on the season. Also, gotta wonder if we're gonna see Theodore Morris at all. Michael Pippo had the start. Has let up 5, so not exactly what you want from your starting goaltender, but you also have to have that confidence in him that'll turn it around. And the puck is dropped here. We're underway for the second frame. Spartans get the first touches past the blue line off one pass. Feniger rifling it out in front. It's a backhander that did get over to Connor Smith as he watches that puck sail through the slot as well. Felon will wrap it around. Back over to Feniger. Trying her centering pass, and it's cleared towards the blue line, but not completely out. Held in for now. Spartans with a good shift to start off this period, almost holding it at the blue line as well. Again, and Felon was there, but had to go by his stick. Now sent out in front. Pippo making a left pad save. Puck now in the right wing corner, sent towards the slot, tipped aside by the Spartans, but not cleared. Activating on the play is Ryan Martin. He'll carry it deep. Martin now spinning around the net, getting to the opposite side, puts it out in front, and it goes through the crease. Good opportunities to start off this period for both teams. 1 minute gone by in the second here in the MCHC championship game. The Pioneers again trying for their three-peat, up by 4 goals. They're well on their way to doing so. In this same building was where they last won the MCHC championship by its 8-goal margin, as that shot's taken and blocked. SHU looking for the backdoor feed. Left circle, another slapper, again blocked. Marzalek had that opportunity. Now the puck's out in front. Pippo taking a big slash into Ciano. I don't think the referee saw that one. Actually have a conversation now with Pippo. So referees did see it, didn't call it. Just want to have the conversation. Wrist shot from the high slot. Steered aside by Connor Smith. His team's the first one onto the rebound. Angeletti clears it up and away. Marzalek past the blue line on the backhand, carrying to the forehand, passing it down low. Wrapped around the goal by Ciano. To the near boards, it's stripped off his stick and cleared by the Spartans. The tap pass in center ice was broken up, and then it's taken away again by Diella. He'll put it down in front. Shot taken and missed off to the left. Prunty with the opportunity. He'll put another one on from the perimeter. Easily saved by the netminder of SHU. Prunty going for the hit. Puck is centered again, taken away. Not cleared, though. It's Prunty again in the slot. Has it on his backhand, curling back to the forehand. Shot is blocked. Prunty gets his own rebound. A third shot on this shift for Prunty. Doesn't reach net front. Harag, right wing corner. Getting pressed into the boards by D'Elia. Losing it out, then gets support from his teammates. Carried ahead. SHU looking for the counterattack. Puck in towards the slot, and a save made by Pippo. Rebound available out in front, taking a couple of big bounces, and the Spartans diving at it to block. Next shot taken and swallowed up by Pippo to pause play with 17:04 in the second period. Opportunities generated for both sides so far. No one capitalizing on it just yet. Spartans looking for a clearing strategy off the draw. Puck is played in deep again and scoring from the blue line. James Tremblay makes it 6-1 for the Pioneers. As you can see, just Tremblay taking that shot through traffic. Pippo extended for the puck but never got a pad on it. Beats him for a 6-1 lead. 16:53 to play in the second period, and Tremblay joins on the scoring sheet from the blue line, putting his team that touch closer to a third consecutive conference championship. Or excuse me, that not Tremblay scoring that. Zachary McLeod getting that goal for SHU. Just a bit of a scoring update. Zachary McLeod, Massachusetts native. It looks like we're going to get a power play now for the Spartans. Again, I said they couldn't really give up a goal in the second period. They've already given up one. SHU has been good on the PK thus far, only facing one opportunity, though, so let's see if that trend can continue. Spartans hemmed back into their own end. Puck behind their own net right now. Breakout looking like it will come on the near side. Good defense and pressure applied by Cardelli, and his team will take the puck back because of it. Twisting around is Ryan Martin. Will turn it over at the blue line. Now it belongs. Jason DeSalvo looks to play it out in front. Taken away. DeSalvo battles for it below the goal line. Gets speeded by Ryan, and we'll get a whistle from the referees. Play right in front of us. And it looks like we'll go to 4-on-4. Penalty applied. Now in the 4-on-4, action definitely opened up here. Into the box is number 27, Andrew Fenninger. So obviously disastrous for the Spartans to lose their top point producer. You want him to be out here to have that space, as we just get everything sorted out here on the scoreboard. Might actually be an upcoming. I want to see what the penalty situation is right now, because we have two penalty clocks going simultaneously. But it looks like it's just 4-on-4, so I think that's just a little quirk here at Great Neck. Shot from the slot, saved by Pippo. Takes a big bounce into the end glass. Cleared now by the Spartans. Lead man is Prunty. Prunty with some room. His shot interrupted. Almost had some daylight on it, though. SHU will clear on a backhand sweeping pass. Now to the far side. Sienna going after it. Absorbs some contact. Now taking the puck off the board. Sienna dancing into the circle. Sienna out in front. Feeding back door. Had Zachary McLeod, almost his second of the period. McLeod bouncing it off the boards. Back over to Sienna. Takes a hit into the half boards. Marzalik controls. Willing towards the blue line, now passing it over. McLeod, a shot from the point, saved and swallowed up by Pippo. So we have 14 more seconds on 4-on-4, and then we will go into a power play for the Pioneers. Face-off won and controlled by SHU. Their shot takes a big bounce off the pads of Pippo, then cleared by the Spartans' defense. Some nice speed coming forward. Smith called offsides. So now SHU into the power play for the next 40 seconds, trying to make it a 7-1 game. Puck does get past the blue line. Spartans looks like they'll have room to clear, and it's played off the glass by Thyberg. Tipped in deep. Smith out of his crease to tap it down and settle it. Ryan Martin skates onto it with some space up the right side. Ryan Martin wheeling past the blue line on his forehand, dragging in front, and then gets interrupted. Puck back to the near side, but held in. Gately there for it. Down Main Street, his shot saved by Pippo and cleared out by the Spartans. Quick power play, but still some generated opportunities for SHU. Taken away now at the blue line. Opportunity coming here for the Spartans. Shot goes a little too wide. Glances off the boards to the rebounds. St. Thomas Aquinas do keep it in for just a moment, then it is cleared out. Fumbled at the blue line, then taken in by DeSalvo. Looks to play it out in front, getting some support now. Tracking it is Smith. Couldn't get his glove on top of it. As we'll get a penalty upcoming. I believe that's going to be called on number 16 for SHU. Michael Richardson will go to the box, probably for roughness, roughing the call. SHU will get a quick clear on the penalty kill. I've seen a lot of special teams action over the last couple of minutes. The Pios have been all the better for it. Approaching 13 minutes left in the second. Spartans looking for their entrance. Feniger has it past the blue line, kicks it towards his stick, and then it's centered and cleared. D'Elia was looking for his man out in front, couldn't find anyone. So we get a whistle and pause action. Spartans coming ahead with it again. DeSalvo chasing after it. Smith comes out of his net. DeSalvo, good battle on the left wing corner, but it gets by him anyway. Spartan can't hold it in at the blue line. It comes all the way down. John Brennan back for it. 12:23 to play in the second. 1 minute gone by in the power play. Prunty looking to chip it past the blue line. Gets stood up, and SHU can clear again. Forced turnover in the neutral zone. Good work from Campo Real. Does get a shot off. Wide over to the left. Carries around the net behind. Leading goal scorer coming in. Prunty looking for him back door. Shot taken again. Deflects and goes in. An own goal. But the Spartans will take it. As you can see, it just carries in behind, gets behind the netminder. as Connor Smith starts backing up, it just catches in his pads and he wheels it into his own net. Score now 6-2. Spartans have their second of the night. Scoring breakdown now 1-1 in the second period. Spartans take it back, looking for back-to-back goals. They definitely need that in order to make this game competitive. Harag takes a shot, saved by Pippo. Rebound belongs to Harag again. And the net is off its mooring, so we'll take a quick pause. Face off coming to the left of Pippo. Played out in front instantly. Wraparound try shut down by the Spartans. Pippo has to stay alert at all times pretty much when SHU is in the offensive end. Even when the puck is behind the cage. Rotated down low. McLeod, who scored earlier for SHU. Only goal in the second period for the Pioneers as well. Comes back to Harag. Tries to play it towards net. Deflects and now taken away. Up ahead, Prunty in on net. Prunty's shot saved. Prunty gets it back, now carrying it towards the circle, putting it into the net. And the shot is saved by Smith. Rebound belongs to his defense. We'll get another whistle. We get some line changes going. Referee's taking a quick conversation. Obviously, they don't want this game to get out of hand. Both teams with 5 out on either side. Now coming over to the box, number 18, Matteo Wild. And Wild looks like he's going to get ejected right now. So it looks like SHU will be down a skater as a result from the extra physicality coming after the whistles. And a new power play for the Spartans. Really starting to pile them up in this second period, but haven't been able to capitalize on enough of them. Ryan Cafferty will go over to the box to serve the penalty. And so with a 6-2 lead, there is now a 5-minute major on the clock. Great opportunity for the Spartans to get back into this game. They really do need to score at least one on this 5-minute major. Obviously, these penalties unreleasable, so they can score as many goals as they want to, or as many goals as they feasibly can. Pass across the blue line. Controlled and played around the boards by DeSalvo, second highest point producer on his team. DeSalvo will get another touch on the puck. Taking it up to the right circle. Putting it out in front. Back door was almost slammed in. DeLeo was there. Spartans get back onto it. Formica touching a pass back. Now taken forward. At the blue line, DeSalvo will play it in. Right wing corner, takes a big bounce and ends up onto the stick of Fenninger. Plays it down and around down low. D'Elia back to the far point. D'Elia with it again. Walking it to the blue line, takes a shot out in front, looking for a deflection. Second opportunity, this time saved by the netminder of SHU. A clearing attempt hits off the referees, but still gets past the blue line. Marzalek coming in a 2-on-1, feeds it towards the slot. Shot taken, ripped just wide, and I think Pippo might have had a say in that as well. McLeod steps up onto it in center ice and plays it back into the defensive zone for the Spartans. They try to get it in towards Fennigan. Fenniger goes back for it, and SHU somehow getting onto the puck first to the Spartans. Not exactly enough urgency to the puck. They finally take it back. About 2 minutes gone by in this 5-minute major, and once again SHU take control and clear thanks to number 27, Ryan Martin. Spartans once again hemmed into their own end. They'll bring out their second power play unit here. Prunty had it, lost it, gets it again, and passes it off to Brennan. He'll send it up the far side, chased after by Christopher Smith. Puck gets around him. McLeod on the backhand, trying to clear, and it gets past the blue line again. The Pioneers now halfway through this 5-minute major. No whistles yet either. Force another turnover on the offensive end, then they'll get beat out. Prunty gets it poked off his stick. Now barreling down net. Pioneers shorthanded opportunity. Not shoved in, and Pippo will stand strong. We'll get some more pushing. Spartans got to realize that they're down by 4 right now. They can't really afford to take a penalty here. Up a man, 2:26 still. Waiting for the referees to sort through this mess. So stay 5-on-4 for the time being. Spartans still with 2:26 to operate on the 5-minute major. Haven't really gotten many good opportunities. Past that really first minute mark, they've been held out of the offensive zone pretty much that entire time. SHU controlling the near boards. Couple of dekes coming out of Jeremiah Ryan. He ends up feeding it back to his defenseman in his own defensive end. Held on by McLeod. He'll look to fire it the length of the ice and gets it all the way down to Pippo. Comes out to settle. 7:40 to play in the second. Now 2 minutes remaining on the 5-minute major. Still no tally coming out of the Spartans. They'll once again turn it over in the neutral zone. Played down low, and Pippo will stop it. Getting way too many touches of the puck on this power play for the Spartans. Now they have some room to work. Ahead for D'Elia, his shot saved. Rebound comes to the near side. SHU do get the clear. Good effort coming back for Jeremiah Ryan, and a nice shove at the end of the play for good measure. 1:26 to play in the power play. Fenninger controls, tapping it ahead for DeSalvo. Looks to play it around the stout defense of the Pioneers. Does get past them, but the Spartans need to reset. They were off sides, and in the meantime, the Pioneers use that opportunity to once again clear. 1 minute left in the 5-minute major. Spartans not finding anything right now. Another opportunity presented itself to Marzalek, but he overskated it. Still gets the puck in deep, though. 53 seconds left. Room for the Spartans. Tape-to-tape pass. Smith with room. Past the blue line. Smith on the forehand. Playing it out in front, and it's shut down. Covered up for a whistle by Connor Smith, and we'll get some more pushing and shoving. Referee falls to the ice now himself. Someone's definitely going to get booked for that. Probably have more penalties other than that one. So it looks like we have a 5-on-3 upcoming. Ryan Martin also into the box now for the Pioneers. Now they're working with a 4-goal lead, but the way they've been taking penalties feels like it shouldn't be that way. Puck bounces over to the far side, kept in by the Spartans in a 5-on-3 for the next 38 minutes. A golden opportunity. Prunty with room. His shot saved. Rebound wasn't completely covered up, but the whistle came in for relief. Connor Smith a little lucky about that. Off the draw, Spartans take control. Looking for the backdoor feed, and it's blocked out in front. Rebound and denied by the defenseman there. Puck once again comes back to the near point. Brennan looking for an angle, shut down, and the Pios get the puck out. We'll get another pause. Face-off should be coming in the neutral zone. .15 seconds left in the 5-on-3. On the draw, Spartans look for control, and the Pioneers once again clear. Standing so strong during this 5 minutes that they were down 5-on-4, and then another 30 seconds of 5-on-3. And the Spartans still can't break through. They're down by 4. Now into a minute 17 of just a regular power play. 5-minute major also expired, so it's just a one and done if the Spartans can even do that. Shot taken and saved. DeSalvo looking for control, wrestles Marzalik down to the ice right in front of the referees. They say play on. Marzalik now kicking for it. Gets it along the boards, pinching in down low. Cardelli feeds it to Marzalik. Gets it out in front and shut down. Referees instantly fly in to shut down a scrum. DeSalvo with a nice power move to the net there. St. Thomas Aquinas have been on the power play for essentially the last 6 minutes. And opportunities have essentially gone equally to either side. Once again cleared by SHU. 5 minutes left in the second period. 30 seconds left in the power play. Passes across the tape before one more backhander is intercepted and wrapped down low by Cardelli, forcing another stoppage from Pippo. Pioneers still control. Now it's poked into the neutral zone, reclaimed and skated backwards. Angeletta will put it down, and we'll get another whistle from the referees. Puck will go out of play and back into the Pioneers' defensive end. 8 seconds left in this power play. Spartans looking for one last bid on net before they're back to 5-on-5. They do get it out for just a second. And the power play will expire. Puck played into the crease again, but there's really no follow-up pressure onto these shots. Connor Smith can just take his time and focus on settling the rebound. Approaching the 4-minute mark here in the second period. 6-2 the score for the Pioneers. Goals have gone 1-1 for either side in this period, but with the 5-1 lead the Pioneers built in the first period, well, it looks pretty damn good for them. Richardson carries it around the boards at the blue line, held in and then put out. Ahead now for Tyrell. Tyrell bringing it in. His shot saved and then cleared by the Spartans. Michael Richardson, a tap pass forward off the boards. Onto the tape of Tyrell. He'll send it farther forward for Davis. Across, backdoor feed, back to Davis, looking for the finishing touch. It's all saved by Pippo and gloved away. Referees will call for a hand pass as it did reach the Spartans. But settling that play is probably good enough for them. They don't want to let up another one right now. 3:27 left in the second period. Spartans get it out. Carried ahead now. Prunty with room. Trying to drag it through his legs. Puck lost in transition. Does get it out in front, though, and a shot carried wide to the right. Held in by the Spartans. Centering bid again, this time intercepted by Ryan Martin, one of the most recent penalty takers for SHU. Martin doing a good job shutting down that play. Gets the puck again, wheeling it into center ice, and then gets it poked off his stick. Spartans do get control. They'll rifle it in deep onto the padding of Connor Smith, and he'll settle for another pause. 2:42 to play in the second period. 6-2 the score. SHU on top. Looking for back-to-back-to-back championships as we get some quick re-padding for Connor Smith. Looks like he's lacing up his skates a little fresh. Obviously, you don't want that to ever be loose if you are a netminder. Face off now over to the left of Connor Smith. Controlled by Ciano. He reverses it up the boards on the left side now with some speed. Trying to spear the puck in. Gets it over to Doyle. Feeding it backdoor. Tipped just wide to the right by Cafferty. 2:23 to play in the second period. Spartans now get it past the blue line off a backhand, then taken over by SHU and flipped in deep again. Cafferty onto it, puts it out in front, then wrapped around behind the net to the blue line. Across a D-to-D pass, ends up with Angeletta. Puck now comes just barely past the stick of Angeletta, and he'll take it back into his own zone. Passing it forward. Once again, the Pioneers just making such quick work of this neutral zone to get it in to the offensive end. They hold in at the blue line. Shot from there goes wide to the right. Takes a far bounce to the boards and cleared by the Spartans. Back down onto the tape of Jack Donovan. Puck in deep. First one onto it. Pioneers have it in the left circle. Look for a centering pass. Almost got onto the tape of Gately. He'll chase after it into the corner. Sends it out in front. Bounces behind the net. Hareg trying to hold it in. Pinching into the play. Will put it in a little bit deeper. Hareg now on the near boards again. Looks like the puck deflected out of play. We'll get another stop with 1:06 remaining in the second period. Quick conversation from the coaching staff of St. Thomas Aquinas with the referees, and then we'll get the puck dropped in the offensive end for SHU. Pinched on the near boards, 4 players coming together for it. Puck still restrained on the boards as the referees tell the players just try to keep moving it along. In 50 seconds left, it will finally squirt free along the far side into the left wing corner. Controlled for a moment by the Spartans. The pass intercepted at the near point and flipped in deep once more by Harrig. Now the Spartans finally find their breakout strategy. But this game really has come down to what can they do on the offensive end. The answer really is not much, as Looks like Sacred Heart's going to be exiting this period still with a 4-goal lead. I say that, pass out in front, almost onto the tape of Fenninger for a shot. 15 seconds left. The Spartans still buzzing around. They wrap it around the boards one more time. Fenninger going after it. Collects on the backhand. Feeds to the far point. Tap down low. Once again returning for D'Elia. Puts it out in front. And that was the best opportunity they might have had all period. Second opportunity. Almost had D'Elia backdoor on the rebound. And that's how the buzzer will sound here in the second period. 6-2 the score for Sacred Heart. They're 20 minutes away from 3 consecutive MCHC championships. And we'll see if they can do it. Right here on the LI Sports Network. We'll be back after this short break. 20 minutes is all that remains here in the finals of the MCHC Conference. SHU controlling a 4-goal lead coming into it. Scored 3 unanswered to start off the game before the Spartans were able to respond with 1 goal, and then they exploded for a couple more. Light scoring in the second period, 1 goal for either side, and that's how we reach the third and final period of today's contest. As it stands right now, overtime is a long shot for St. Thomas Aquinas. And what's definitely in reach, a three-peat for the Pioneers to go back to back to back. They've won it, the conference championship that is, on this ice 2 years in a row now. As everyone gets back out, Pippo still in net for the Spartans on the other side. Connor Smith has been solid all night. As we prepare for the puck drop to start the clock with these final 20 minutes on it. Puck drop upcoming. To the dot, Fenninger. Trying to get it going as he will win it, then instantly slapped forward by the Spartans into the offensive end. That's how we'll kick off this third period. And it looks like we have another 5-minute major on the board for Micah in the box for that 5 minutes. Not exactly sure what happened there. I think it was something at the end of the second period, probably something said, but nonetheless, that's tragic for the Spartans as they will be starting essentially, their opportunities to score with just 3/4 of a period left. Right now, SHU just looking for clean puck control. Obviously, they have no reason to take any extraordinary measures as they will center a pass, and it will go through the crease, net off its moorings now. 19:12 to play in the third. Face-off will come in the offensive zone. SHU try to pinch in on the boards to hold it there, but it gets past Gately, who was the last man back. Now in their own zone, Martin tries to tap a pass to Gately. He returns the favor. Martins carries it behind his net. Stretching ahead forward, Richardson, cross ice, picked up by Ciano, carried into the offensive end. He'll slow it down, feed it back to the point. Martin with it, D-to-D pass over to Gately. He'll carry it, top of the slot, straightaway shot, gets into the crease, and then is put aside into the end boards. Held in on the far side now. Coming with it off the boards. Giving it over now to Ciano. Gately again. Slowly dangling, trying to keep the puck in now as he lost it for a moment. Snapping it to the far side. Shot in, feet across the blue paint. Doesn't get tapped home. Gately. Gately with it again. Dancing down to his left. Feeding it on the far side. Ahead from Martin. Puts it into the circle and takes a shot covered up. And play is paused by Pippo. Face off to the left of Pippo now. SHU will win it, get the quick shot that goes wide to the right. Clearing attempt for the Spartans, shut down and held in by Marszalek. At the far side, the backhand pass will wrap around the boards. SHU battle forward in the right wing corner, currently controlled on the stick of Pogge. Turned over and now played out by McKeon. All the way down. Connor Smith will come out of his net to play the pass ahead. Marszalek wheeling up the left side, pulling up, looking for options, feeding it far door. That goes through the crease again. And I believe the net is once more off its moorings. Looks like the referees will come in to help reset that. $17:29 to play in the third, 2:30 to play in the 5-minute major. So about halfway gone by for the Spartans, but not exactly their goal. Killing time, they need time. Out in front, the slot, shot taken, Pippo the save, fed back door and cleared aside. Johnny on the spot was John Brennan, making sure to clear that the length of the ice, not give up another goal to go down 7-2. Be tied for the biggest lead of the night for the Pios. Stretch pass just barely off the stick. Angelito will chase after it, comes back into the neutral zone, tapped down by Marszalek. He'll find some space on the left side, shimmies up the wall. Marszalek centering pass, tap back door and in. SHU found it on the 5-minute major. It's 7-2 for the Pioneers. So we'll take a replay of that here on the LI Sports Network. Almost fanned wide to the right, but still tapped into the back of the net. And a goal for Charlie Tyrell all but seals it here in the finals. Obviously, still have a while to go, but a 5-goal lead and still a Minton 50 on the power play feels damn good if you are SHU. Once again, SHU control off the face-off. Shot's going to carry him off a stick and go into the netting for a pause. SHU back into their own zone. Will pick it up behind the net. Connor Smith settled it down. Stretch pass forward, straight onto the tape and past the blue line. Comes over on the near side. Room for Richardson. His shot turned aside by Pippo. Comes over to the defenseman for Micah to clear. Once again, Smith out of his crease. Quickly playing it for Richardson to get the attack going with room. Past the blue line. Richardson pulling up, looking to feed it across. Instead, taps it around the boards. Charlie Tyrell for it. Tyrell will pick it up behind the net. Sweeping it for Richardson. Feeds it to the point. Walking on the blue line. Shot for Gately ends up in the glove of Pippo, and another pause with 53 seconds remaining in the 5-minute major. 15:50 in the third period. SHU have found a single goal so far, but the 7-2 lead is more than enough to win themselves a third conference championship. Puck rotated around the boards again, attempted to be cleared by the Spartans, but held in by a quick Marszalek. He'll get it down into the left wing boards. Picked up, taking punishment, fed back door, they score! Great passing play for the Pioneers, and they find 8 with 15:36 to play in the third period. We take a replay of that here on the LI Sports Network. You can just see the crisp passing, finding that one last guy and plenty of room to shoot at. Aaron Schulman not going to make a mistake in that position. Gets his team their 8th goal of the night. And we're back to live with Ryan Davis getting it below the goal line. Davis on his backhand, putting it around the boards, intercepted and skated forward. Looking for a counterattack is Downs. He'll control ahead, then get it ripped off his stick back the other way for McLeod. McLeod, the defenseman, joining the rush, pulling up in the right circle, feeding it towards the slot. Almost another shot taken by Schulman. He could have had his second goal on this 5-minute major. Across ice with room. Shot, Angeletti, not able to sink it in. Bounces over to the stick of McLeod. He still has it near boards, dancing towards the blue line, feeding it down low. That does it for the 5-minute major. Back to 5-on-5, but 2 more goals piled on top. An 8-2 lead for the Pioneers to nurse. Should be more than enough for them in the remaining 14:40. Ciano, a drop pass. Onto the stick of Richardson. He battles, jousting against 2 different players. Now held in at the blue line by Ciano, and then cleared on a second effort. Spartans get it in deep. Turned over, back onto the stick of Davis, and I believe net off its mooring could be the call. No, we will get another penalty, and just as they get out of the box, they're right back into it. Devin Nickel into the box for a slash. So another 2-minute power play for Sacred Heart. It looks like we'll get offsetting penalties to go 4-on-4 skating for the next 2 minutes. Didn't see the retaliation there from Sacred Heart University. Not that it matters much to them. 4-on-4, they've seen it before this game, and they were more than up to the challenge. Face-off looks like it will be moved out to center ice. Stick high up into the air, and we'll get another penalty. So from 4-on-4 to 4-on-3 now for the next 147. Slashing the call from the referees. Looks like the offender will be Anthony Prunty. He's been involved in quite a bit of verbal sparring as well as physical sparring throughout the game. So now SHU into a rare 4-on-3 opportunity. 147 remains on that. 14:05 remain in the game. Puck circles around the boards. First onto the stick of Cafferty. He looks to clear off the glass and does. Gets it down 200 feet straight to the goaltender, Connor Smith. Quickly plays it ahead onto the tape of Ryan Davis. Gets his pocket picked and turned aside. The Spartans will clear again. Trying to eat some of this 4-on-3 time. Then they'll be into a short 5-on-4 disadvantage. Obviously not as bad as being down 5-on-3, but down 6 goals, almost 7 as a quick shot was taken by Marszalek. He'll take control back on the near boards and is denied back out into center ice. Richardson throws it ahead. Now across the ice onto the backhand of a streaking Cafferty. Wasn't able to get the shot off the rush. Gives it over and once again past the blue line. 13:10 to play in the third period. 8-2 the score in favor of Sacred Heart. Martin sends it near side. Carried ahead. Marszalek into the left circle, feeding the trailer and over skated by Gately. It's tapped past the blue line, springing a dangerous Fenninger almost into a rush, but enough Pios are back to shut down his opportunity. Still 4-on-3. Puck will take a bounce off the boards, travel into the D zone of the Spartans. They can clear it easily due to the efforts of John Brennan, down 200 feet once more. Again, Spartans not really in a kill time kind of attitude, or at least they can't be, down by 6 goals with 12:25 to play in the third period. Ryan Davis. Make it Gately, actually, cutting across. His shot a little too high, taking a big bounce almost out in front. Spartans get there to take a nice hit along the boards. Referees will blow a whistle again, pausing play. Looks like we'll go back to 5-on-5 in just a second. It's a 2-second power play for SHU. And just like that, it will be over. Back to 5-on-5 for the Spartans for the next 12 minutes. Trying to take a bite out of an impossible task of a 6-goal comeback. And we'll get another penalty upcoming. We'll probably end up spending more time in shorthanded situations in this third period than we will even strength as Gately goes over to the box. So the face-off now coming to the right of the SHU netminder Connor Smith. Puck comes back to the blue line, but mishandled by Formica. 11:40 to play in the third. SHU get the clear down, bouncing puck covered up by Pippo. He'll leave it alive. Formica comes onto it, curling around, then putting a pass off the boards, allowing Andrew Fenninger to take over. Fenninger a nice dangle, but then interrupted on his breakout. Good defensive play from SHU. Still gets past them and wrapped around the boards down low. Streaking in, the always dangerous Jason DeSalvo. Obviously most dangerous out in front of the net, but once again, SHU find these clearing strategies so effectively. I mean, they've been killing penalties for probably at least a good 10 minutes. We have another penalty coming up, so we're going to go right back to 4-on-4. I think that Jason DeSalvo is going to get called for this one. Right now, SHU just curling around in their own zone. DeSalvo chasing after the puck. Can't take 2 penalties on 1 play. Actually, I think you can. Maybe not at this level, though. Not 100% sure about that rule. I think that's in the deep, deep books of ACHA. SHU, they'll be content to kill off as much of this remaining power play as possible. Just puts them in a better spot. Crisp pass forward to Jeremiah Ryan. Then he'll backwards pedal it into his own zone. The pressure coming in from the Spartans now. Pioneers just trying to play keep away. Another good pass gets onto the tape of Richardson and finally will be touched up. So the power play down to 24 seconds for the Spartans, and then they'll send off. It's actually not going to be DeSalva. Instead, looks like Conigalero went off to the box. I think that's who went there. Scratch that. Make it Devin Nickel into the box. So make it 4-on-4 for 24 seconds. 10:15 remaining in the game. Face-off, contested, puck rotated around the boards. First one to it. Campo Real will clear. Richardson, backwards pedal in the neutral zone, gets a pass over onto the tape of Tyrell, who'll dump in. Spartans find it, look for some open space. Their target is Guild, who gets it forward and into the right wing corner. Far out of his net is Connor Smith. 5-on-4 dead, back to a 4-on-4 dead, back to a power play for SHU. As they'll get that one out in front, Pippo will make the save. Puck held in for now towards the blue line. D-to-D pass will get it to McLeod. Gives it back on the near side. Angeletti looking to put it in. Some more pushing and shoving in front of the crease. The referee's not going to call any of that. Marzalek getting it in. Shot taken. That was McLeod. Does force Pippo to cover up. Another offensive zone face-off coming. Around 9 minutes to play in the third period. And we'll get another penalty. That one definitely has to be something verbal. Jesse Formica off into the box. So it looks like we'll have another 5-on-3. SHU setting up with a shot, and Pippo makes a save. On the draw, SHU will play it into the corner and get possession with it. Gately out to the top of the circle. Angeletti feeding it over. Shot taken. Rebound was loose, and there was a bit of open space there, but no one was there for it. SHU keep it at 8-2. Back to the blue line, controlled by McLeod. Straight away, his shot deflected by Gately, who was hit onto the deck. Gately, a shot now, goes a little too high above the crossbar. Down low, SHU out in front. Gately a one-timer. Big rebound, puts it back out in front. Back door, SHU looking for it. Nice glove save from Pippo. Flashing the leather right there with 8:24 remaining. Still a little bit more 5-on-3 to get through. 9 seconds to be exact. And we get another penalty, I think. DeSalvo sent over to the box. To my knowledge, you can't actually go below a 5-on-3. So I I genuinely have no idea what happens now. It's okay, so it's another 2 minutes of 5-on-3 after that, but we'll stay at 5-on-3 for now. So Spartans not really making this one competitive down the stretch, to say the least. A little too much penalty troubles. I'd be very interested to see the total penalty minutes by the end of tonight. I have a feeling we're probably getting close to breaking that 60-minute mark, more penalties than minutes played. Obviously, there was a game suspension earlier, so that's 10 minutes right there. We've had 2 5-minute majors, so that's another 10 minutes. And we get another whistle. At some point, the Spartans are going to run out of players. As we get someone else over to the box. There are now 4 Spartans all in the box right now. Back down to 3 as one of them was released from the penalty. So the referees will put it back into the offensive end. SHU with now more than, I believe, over 4 minutes. Got a false start on the face-off, so we'll reset that. And now it looks like we're going to get some ejections as well. So Devin Nickel and Jesse Formica chased from the rink. That will do it for them. So now a total of 3 ejections on the game. 2 from the Spartans, 1 from the Pioneers. .12 to play in the third period. Referee's just trying to keep control of this game at this point. I mean, honestly, it's not very competitive, and that frustration is probably boiling over to the Spartans bench. So now what used to be 3 Spartans in the penalty box becomes 1, wondering if anyone will get sent over. So the referees are trying to figure out this mess. So still in the box is Jason DeSalvo. He was the most recent penalty. Formica is now watching the action from the far side of the rink. Probably brewing with a little bit of frustration about this game. Obviously isn't happy about what the referees are calling. So now linesman Stewart will go over to talk with the coaches of St. Thomas Aquinas. Smith going on a little bit of a skate now. Get Noah Barr over the board, so he'll come and serve one of the penalties. And he'll be joined by his teammate William Thyberg. So 3 Spartans back into the box. And we'll get action underway with more 5-on-3 upcoming. Puck dropped and controlled by the Pioneers. I say that it's played all the way past them down to Smith again. Still at the end boards is number 5, Jesse Formica. Probably going to be trying to get on the nerve of Smith, but I think Smith will stay calm considering his team's in a 6-goal lead. SHU setting up in the offensive end. Nice shoulder fakes from Jeremiah Ryan. Feeds it across the blue line to Richardson. Back to Ryan on the far side. Pulls up. Dancing in the right circle. Feeds it high slot. Now over for Williams. His shot goes too high. 7:38 left in the third period. Williams looking to field the pass, but that went past the blue line before it got anywhere near him. And SHU will reset it. Quick tap forward onto Ryan. Looking for Williams. Backdoor tumbles below the goal line. Didn't put it in. Then Ryan trying to shove it on the far side was denied by Pippo. Looking for his defenseman to skate it out, but Christopher Smith got interrupted. Stays in the offensive end. Smith comes back for it and does get it above the stick of Richardson to put it back into the neutral zone. SHU on the reload. Feed it to the far side, past the blue line. Shot taken. That one's going to go wide to the left. So we have 43 more seconds of a 5-on-3. And then I believe after that, we're going to get a 5-minute major that will start to click down. So the Spartans will be shorthanded for quite a bit longer. Off the draw. Pios take control. Long stretch pass forward. They come in 2-1 to the zone. Doyle, his shot. Big rebound swept away. Kept in the offensive zone. Ciano shoots and scores. As we'll take a replay of that here on the LI Sports Network. As you can see, that first shot paddled away by Pippo. Rebound comes out. Ciano comes for it, and his wrister finds the net. 9-2 now the score. Trying to find what the holdup is. I'm going to assume it's more penalties. So Pippo will be tagged out as well. Morris coming into the net for the next 6:38. We now have 2 5-minute majors on the board at the same time. So it's going to be 5 minutes of 5-on-3 and unreleasable penalties. SHU pretty much in cruise control for the rest of this game. Obviously could rack the score up, not sure if they will. They pass it out in front, definitely still looking for some blood right now. Gets cleared out 200 feet. Smith back for it, gets it, and taps it over. Angeletti on it. Leaves it on the red line, intercepted, and then taken back by Aaron Schulman. He'll send a stretching pass forward onto the tape of Angeletti, who will carry it past the blue. Cutting in on the backhand, tossing it out in front. Broken up by the Spartans, but not cleared. At the blue line, Jake Donovan tapping it down low. Lots of traffic out in front. Rebound. They score. So we still got 3:44 to go on a 5-on-3 from 2 5-minute majors, and a little over 5 minutes left to play in this game. Pioneers, well, they've pretty much done it. Back-to-back-to-back championships will belong to them. I don't know if a game is even losable from a situation like this. Harrick bringing it out in front. They score again. Make it 11-2 for the Pios. Really just piling on at this point. So obviously still skating 5-on-3 as both of the penalties that made it a 5-on-3 are unreleasable. They will stand on the board for another 3 minutes at least. So the Pioneers could theoretically get up to 14 goals. Another shot rings off the mask of Morris. His defense does clear, comes back out to McLeod. McLeod coming in on the backhand, spinning around back towards the blue line, pulls up, feeds it down low. Ryan back to McLeod. His shot saved, rebound loose. SHU the first ones to it, but they couldn't get a second shot off, and now it is cleared. Definitely one of the strangest games that I've ever broadcasted here on LISN. I've never seen a game with as many 5-minute majors or ejections than in this one. And the Pios, well, they'll laugh all the way to the bank with this one, up 11-2 right now. A 9-goal lead. Connor Smith settles it, allows Harrig to come onto it. Puck played into the neutral zone. Oliver past the blue line. Inverting, then giving it up high. Richardson plays it off the wall. Up top, Ciano, a shot, knocks the stick free of Morris. Everyone keeps playing. Puck fed to the far side. Ciano with it again. Looking for the backdoor feed through the 5-hole and in. Make it 12 goals for SHU. So Morris is definitely getting a rude awakening to this game. He's been in just a couple of minutes and has conceded 3 goals. Obviously, he didn't have anything to do with his team taking 2 5-minute majors at the same time. SHU once again control off the draw. 3:35 to play in the third period. They'll continue to pass it around in the neutral zone. Now Angeletti will find a path forward, dumping it off to Ryan Davis. Gives it back to the forward who brought it in. Angeletti now reversed to the far side. Twirling around is Tyrell, giving it back to the blue line. Now for Martin. Finds Davis. Davis down low for Tyrell, past his stick, so instead he'll just reset it up high. Martin with it again. Looking for the D-to-D pass, thinking off, takes the shot blocked out in front. That one's going to leave a nice mark. I think he hit his teammate, Aaron Schulman, who's now hobbling a little bit over to the bench. Less than a minute to play in the first 5-minute major. I'm not exactly sure if there's going to be any penalties following it up. It's been hard to keep track of. SHU feed it out in front. Gately had an opportunity, doesn't take it. Sauces a pass over to Angeletti. He'll take the shot. Back door almost bounces in. Not clear just yet. Martin gives it down low. Gately has Martin back all alone. Instead, he'll think Angeletti, who'll shoot and score. Angeletti will make it 13-2 here in the finals. 2:30 to play. 29 seconds left in the first 5-minute major. And we'll get a running clock for the remainder of this game. As the first major expiring, we'll be back to 5-on-4, I believe. And about 20 seconds left in the other 5-minute major. So SHU playing 5-on-5 hockey for the first time in what feels like the entirety of the third period. Taken down low, cutting back up high. Gately, he'll shoot, ring the bar down. No good, say the referees. Very well could have been a 14th. Gately with it again. Cutting back door. Gately on the backhand, has options up high. Will sauce it to the blue line. Oliver Harag with it right now. Gives it back over to Gately. Cuts up at the circle. His shot blocked in front and cleared out by the Spartans. They'll look for a little bit of a breakaway, but Jake Donovan is there for it. Nice twirling move for Donovan. Runs into the referee just slightly and then gives it around the boards for his defensive partner. 1 minute to go in the third period. SHU just 60 seconds from destiny of their back-to-back-to-back champions. You can see them starting to stir on the benches. They're ready for it, just playing keep away now against the Spartans, who really shot themselves in any chance they really had in this third period with just the sheer amount of penalty minutes that have piled up. SHU 13-2 the score right now will be their biggest margin of victory in the finals, and they've had some dominant performances there so far. Last year winning 10-2, somehow one-upping it. Referees setting up the face-off. Over to the left of Connor Smith. Solid performance for him, only allowing 2 goals while he watched his team pick apart the opposing defense. 8 seconds left. Referee will set up this last face-off. The Spartans will win it, tap it around. 3 seconds, 2 and 1. The red gloves will come off, and SHU are back to back to back. MCHC champions, taking this game 13-2. The number 1 seed prevails, and will head to nationals. Spartans nothing to do right now but to line up for this upcoming handshake. St. Thomas Aquinas had a good season coming in as the 2nd seed, but just couldn't stick with SHU during this game as they celebrate on the opposite end. As both teams will line up, that's how we'll do it here on the LI Sports Network. Thank you so much for listening, for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. And once again, final score, SHU 13, St. Thomas Aquinas 2. And the Pios are your 3-time MCHC champions.